Do you like my choice of t-shirt? Thought it was appropriate today. Hey my beautiful stalkers, welcome back. Now I have had so many requests for this video, and there is a part of me that really loves that you get to see the end magical result that is polished and slick and fulfilling the fantasy, I suppose. There was a little bit of trepidation on my part about revealing this, but more so on my team about blowing the lid off that and showing you exactly how we go about this and essentially how really unglamorous my job can be sometimes. And I know there are going to be some of you that don't want that magic bubble to be popped. So consider this your warning. If you don't want to take off the rose-tinted goggles and you want the fantasy to remain intact, look away now. Like, go onto my channel, go watch one of my other videos or one of my other blogs. Go and watch the Dreams video again. We are about to blow this wide open, guys. So I'll give you a second. Have they gone? You sure? Good, let's get started. Before I continue, don't forget to click the subscribe button, hit that bell icon to make sure you receive notifications, and click the like button on this video as well. I know you haven't seen it yet, but I promise you, it is the bomb. Did I just say it's the bomb? Man, I just lost serious cool points. No. So Dreams actually came towards the end of the process producing my 10th anniversary album. I co-wrote and recorded the original version for the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise as the main vocal theme of the character Silver. And for the 10th anniversary of my artist debut, I was going back and revisiting some of my biggest songs. And I know Dreams was technically 13 years old at the time, but I couldn't not acknowledge it, you know? So approval to produce the video came right at the end of the album campaign when, to be honest, there wasn't any budget left to do another video. And of course, Sega didn't provide budget because Sega. So this truly was an exercise in trying to create something really spectacular out of pretty much nothing. First of all, we had to come up with a concept that was true to the song, but within our limitations as a team. Originally, I wrote Dreams about a bad ex-boyfriend who wanted to get back with me, and I couldn't shake off the past, and I was in this weird gray area that I didn't know if I wanted to move forward together anymore. Scandal! Dreams was written about a gay love story. So we came up with the idea of representing this weird in-between grey area as being stranded, and then eventually the idea of being stranded on top of a tower. And I personally wanted the video to have a slight fantasy element to it, so we just took the tower and went like this. I also wanted this video to have a very positive message at the end, so instead of having someone else come and save me from the tower, I felt it was important that I save myself. So that's why there's two of me. That's how we came up with that concept. And then there was just the minuscule challenge of how do we achieve this with the tiniest of budgets. Julian is my cameraman and video collaborator, and we filmed all of the tower sequences on the roof of his house. Why? Why did we do this to ourselves? For this, we really needed to get the angle shots where the camera was looking up at me, and so I knew I needed to be elevated high. And then because I was in charge of post-production, I knew that if we filmed with a plain black night sky behind me, it would make it much easier to impose that footage in post-production. So for a lot of the shots, it was a simple case of masking this footage out and then implicating it into 3D space on top of the tower. For any motion shots, we used these tracking points so that I could create a virtual camera in special effects. And then all of the tower sequences were created in 3D space using a polygon tower, matte backdrops, and lighting effects. Because the tower sequence was quite complicated, I wanted to keep the other shots relatively simple. But to keep them interesting, I wanted to experiment with light, and particularly the lack of light and the usage of shadows. And just introducing this element alone made all the other shots look really, really interesting. All of the interior scenes were filmed in my home just as we were moving out when all the furniture was packed up. My old house was so beautiful, I wanted to make the most of it before I left. This is a weird in-betweeny time where we have the old house for a month. I'm not living here anymore. I'm temporarily homeless until I move to Tokyo. We are back in the house that I've just moved out of to film the final scene for the Dreams of an Absolution video, which I was excited about anyway, and then we threw on this extra sequence. You might recognize it. I've used it a few times now, and that's because I used to live here. I was just saying earlier, wasn't I, that having it empty, so easy to film in. You can just set the lights up and don't have to worry about furniture and all these humans and human things. For the living room scene, I wanted to bring context to the whole scene, and we did that by bringing in the news report. Look, Mum, I'm on TV.
Again?
I did this so quickly just an hour before we started filming by using a test render of the tower footage and then taking a really quick clip of my brother, yes, that's my brother, against the kitchen wall because the kitchen wall was blue and I knew I could use that as a blue screen to remove the background and place in a virtual backdrop so it looked like a news report. The performance sequence with all that white light was actually painfully simple to make. We just did that in a white room with a white backdrop, put a fill spot on the floor and had me stand over it, and then created light rays using diffusion.
Hello, Blooper Reel.
But the end result was so effective. It's one of my favorite sequences because it was so simple to make. In a lot of my videos, the shots where I'm actually singing the song, we always do lots of different versions. And the one effect that I truly love and I use a lot of the time in my videos is a slow motion effect where I'm singing the song and the footage is in slow motion and it just looks so beautiful. To achieve this, you have to film at a much higher speed, a higher frame rate, higher shutter speed, and the song itself has to be sped up as well. The speed is essentially calculated by the frame rate of your camera, how fast you want to film, and the capability of your camera, I guess. And for Dreams, the slow motion shots had to be filmed almost 2.5 times faster than the original. And yes, guys, this requires a fair bit of practice learning how to sing the song this fast. This also applied to the slow motion running shots. We filmed everything really high speed on the camera, and I just went full pelt when we were filming. When it's slowed down, it looks super high budget, super dramatic. It's a very simple but incredibly effective technique. Back up on the roof, it was super crazy cold and it was windy and it started raining. So a normal day in England, which in the end result really contributed to that idea of height with the wind bellowing through and my hair and my clothes just flapping in the wind. But the experience of filming it was awful.
I believe I've gone insane.
I was freezing my ass off up there. And the wind was so strong, my umbrella, which was made of enforced fiberglass, snapped. Just clean snapped in half.
The Rooftop Diaries. Oh my gosh, look how red my nose is. So, guys, how are you spending your Saturday night?
So I couldn't even stay dry in between takes anymore. The hand that you see on my shoulder at the end is actually Julian's hand, my cameraman. And when we film that end shot, when there's two of me on the tower, to make things as easy as possible in post-production, we wanted just a seamless shot that would be much easier to splice together. So what we did, we set the camera up on a tripod and we filmed the first version of me wearing the leather jacket and then the second version of me wearing the hoodie. Which, yes, ladies and gentlemen, involved me having to get changed into the second outfit on the roof of Julian's house in the middle of the night. Bearing in mind, this was about 2 a.m. at this point. God, I love my job.
It's almost 3 a.m. Tired, very, very tired. Just got back from shooting one of the next videos. It's been cool, a lot of fun, very cold, very wet. But I'm very, very tired now. And I'm starving.
And that is it. That is how we created the iconic Dreams of an Absolution music video. I hope you enjoyed this sneaky behind the scenes peek at how I go about making my work. Before we go, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to make sure you are the first to see more content like this. Click the like button and leave a comment below. Let me know which part about this video surprised you the most. Coming up on my channel, I have more behind the scenes like this video, a couple of new blogs, and I have something special lined up to wrap up my 10th anniversary year. So make sure you come back and check out all of that juicy content. In the meantime, come and stalk me on social media, and until the next time, fare thee well, my stalkers, fare thee well.
Every night I will be with you, 'cause every night I still lay awake and I dream